fire woo, but you don't really know how. Then this thing comes into view, a contest called IGOW2. In a park out in the sun, we'll be flying, having fun, and you'll do some tricks that you only dreamed you could do. Now we're ripping packs together, power loops, Maddie flips forever. I'll never fear that dive again. IGOW, I'll never fear that dive again. IGOW, IGOW.
Do you wanna do an orbit upside down around the ball? It can be anywhere, at any height we'll find we're really tall. We used to be best buddies, and now we're not. I wish I could make you split. Does it have to be an orbit? Yes, it has to be an orbit. Okay, I'll try. Do you wanna do an orbit upside down around the peak? I think this trick is overdue. I started scrolling through the Reddit for the week. It gets a little lonely on these packs, just watching my work crash down. I think I got an orbit. I think I got an orbit. Okay, let's fly. Okay, let's fly.
It's cheating.
Really?
I've been waiting for you. IGOW2.
Heck yeah. Hello! And happy Saturday. How's everybody doing?
Welcome to IGOW2. We are on week number 39 with the recap of Spit's challenge that was the one-hand reloaded, which we will go over here in a second. Hey, what's
Hola,
up?
Roo!
How's it going, Susan? Thank you for joining us here. So we currently have 3 players remaining with 2 on the Woo
Hey,
chopping
Ishi.
block. So if Spit does not get one of the 2 pilots to fail, he will whoop out this week. Or if Agilis fails the challenge, then he will whoop out this week. If Daylight fails, then everyone will be deadlocked with Woo. Alright, so first let's go over the Spit challenge.
So I never see them play together. And they're playing together now.
They do.
I know, I just never see it.
Alright, where is the Spit challenge? Alright. So,
Skittles and Immelman are like finally friends and just like wrestle around every once in a
There's
while.
a device that I've been using called a Whoop.
inspired by Average FPV's one-handed week, where he noticed that he was a little bit better than most of the other pilots at it. We decided to also go with a one hand, where you can only use one hand to do both the sticks. So, let's see, you have to record your hand here and sync it up with footage. You have to start by doing a Matty flip, constantly motion, come back through any of the gates, and then you ladder up, spinning right. All this stuff is super hard to coordinate with just one hand.
You guys are on it!
And after that, you got to do a celebration roll, and it has to be a right
Right? Great sweatshirt.
roll. Catch yourself. Hey, what's up, Ishi? And then land on the ground, and then disarm. And that completes your trick, and you have to do it in less than 60 seconds. So, let's see how everyone else did.
I need to come up with a new shirt design. It's been a minute. I've been busy though. I went back to work, and since I went back to work, life has just been like a blur.
Now, remember, Agilis did the average challenge probably faster than anyone else.
Yeah.
So, we were thinking that Agilis probably able to get it done. It's only a 47-second video total. So, let's see.
Hey, all right.
Here we go. The takeoff at about a minute, a little bit less. Yeah, let's... Matty flip. Nice. To the bottom. Spinning right. Middle. And top.
It's so smooth.
And then right roll celebration. Nice. Ooh, he's got high rates. Nice catch. And then land on the ground. Or land anywhere. Nice. Disarm.
Jesus. Back to 2 hands.
Agilis. Is Agilis with us? Agilis, you normally fly thumb and pinch? Or was that just because you were just going to disarm real quick again? You didn't put your other pinch on. That's what I'm guessing. Also, I noticed both Daylight and Agilis do this, watch, with their free thumb. Agilis doesn't do it as much, but he still is kind of moving like where he would. Daylight like full on pretends like his other finger is on the stick.
It's just like muscle memory. I didn't notice that
He's
Daylight
doing
did
like
that.
this, Daylight's going like in his videos. So very impressive from Agilis there. Got it done, no problem. That was about 30 seconds or so, less than 30 seconds.
I didn't even notice. That's great.
He definitely went over the top of the thing, right? Yeah. Oh, he has like some elaborate. I was like, what is that up there?
Some
Elaborate
crazy,
like tape and
right, stuck to the ceiling, like
to hold it up there. It's probably went with the smaller gate so he could fit it in this thing that's hanging up there and have enough room to actually do the Matty flip. All right, Great job by Agilis. Oh, that also makes Agilis the official longest woo life. 5 woo
Oh,
life
yeah, it
weeks
does.
now.
Hey,
Since
living
he
that woo life.
Picked up his O in this round here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's been a minute. Agilis hasn't gotten a letter since week 30. Besides when he messed up his own trick here. All right, so great job by Agilis, keeping his woo, staying alive for his round, which is next week. So let's see. Now, if Daylight completes the trick, Spit will get his P and B out, and if Daylight does not, then they will be deadlocked at woo. Oops. Let's see.
Hey, Spit.
Hey, what's up, Spit?
Constant loop motion.
Yeah. I think our screen lists like kind of like a
Was that the video or was that him? That's the video.
That's definitely constant motion.
Yeah.
That kind of like glitch in the video. Okay. The time doesn't skip or anything, so. He also has one right here. There's another like thing where this video skips. He said his DVR is getting done. That's right there.
Yep.
It's not like there's anything for him to bump into.
Yeah.
A cable, but it's obvious. All right.
Shit is so impressive. I don't know how you guys do it.
Next up, we've got Daylight.
Yep. Oh, there we go. Good job.
Alright. Sorry, I was messing with the volume so we could hear Daylight more. Oh, you can't see his other thumb in this one. I guess it's in the. He has it more than one clip. Alright.
Don't want the prop going the wrong way. Okay, settle. Yep.
There
Oh, there we go.
Motion.
Good.
The bottom one, and then.
Okay, one side of the ladder. Well, one part of that one. Whoa.
I wasn't sure what that was. If that was like something weird with the motors, we possibly tapped something in the back, but
Okay.
did like 7 clips total, and I cut it down to a
Just
few
like that
less.
one. Okay, good.
So even if that was a tap, we've got one more. And land. Good job. Oh, both of the clips that I couldn't, you can't see the other time. Oh, too bad.
It's not just a drop. Yes, that was good motion in my look.
This is a different attempt by Daylight. Through the top. The roll. He does the rolls like you did at the beginning where he doesn't come off the throttle.
And there we go.
Man.
Do you like beatbox?
Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Boom, boom. Okay. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Boom, boom. Okay. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Boom, boom.
You're so retarded.
And boom.
And boom. I like that last.
Okay. Okay. And boom.
Alright, let's watch it. The second one more time. Alright, he took off at 123. Definitely continuous slow motion there. His other one, I think there was maybe one other passable one, but one he definitely had a tap. One there was some continuous.
The drop was
Definitely.
at
And
Agilis.
there we go.
Yeah. All right. So good job by Daylight. What? Can I play his video somehow for them to see? I don't think
Whose
so.
video?
Daylight's Wait, maybe I can.
What do you mean?
I want to show you his thumb. I thought it was funny. But it was just obviously not in those clips.
It went from playful to aggressive. And was just
Here,
like...
this is one you can see. Watch his thumb. See, he's just flying with it. He knows not. Alright. Good job. Bye, Daylight.
Did she get you, Emmy?
Getting it done. That means that Spit picks up his P on his created week. There just some delay. Oh,
I think he's talking about with the text coming in. Because he's saying that it was more than just a drop. It's not just a drop in regards to Agilis's not constant loop motion.
Oh. Well, what's wrong with it then?
I don't know. Go back and... What? I don't know.
It's constant loop motion. Like, it's not even really very close. There's no question. Everyone's acting all of a sudden like constant loop motion needs to be like absolutely perfect. Like, when did that happen?
What, like,
The
I mean,
constant
a
loop
perfect circle or something?
Yeah, constant loop motion was made up to like just stop people that were going like power loop, oh catch, oh drift, oh I got it, okay now I'm going to. Or mostly we invented it on Matty Flip Week because people would be like, oh I do a front flip and then I'm gonna catch myself here and I'm gonna take time to line up with whatever I have in the room to get in line and now I'm gonna fly backwards through the thing. And we didn't make any rules about like what a Matty flip was. So then we came up with that idea.
Of constant loop motion.
Yes. So you had to actually like go. And now people think like, oh, your loop has to be absolutely perfect. No, just you have to be moving the whole time.
You're the one that feels the nitty gritty details.
And then also in the power loop, like all of a sudden people think that like if you like snap at the top of the power loop and then drift back and then come down, that's somehow not allowed. No, that's like how you do a power loop on a whoop. Like you just can't go catch yourself, be like, oh, and then I drift back and then I go through. Constant loop motion is not very strict. It's just like you can't totally stop or totally go out of the path that you would. Oh, here we can see some non-constant loop motion.
HD just said something. It's too small for me to read. My vision's
There should be perfect and constant, yes. But we're, like I said in the chat, I'm going to try to not have any constant loop or very few constant loop motion and loop motion rules like that at all in the next one. It's just going to be like you do it or you don't. There'll be like maybe a time limit or something.
Well, you need to like have a set of rules that is just solidified that goes from...
This is just not going to have that type of interpretation in it. It's too much of a pain to be like, oh, did he stop or did he pause or whatever? But here, we can see some obvious non-constant loop motion in Daylight's other...
He said, okay, I tried.
Some other in Daylight's other fails. Because he had some that were like for sure not constant loop motion. Alright, his first one he had a tap, I remember. His second one was his best one. That's the one we watched. Land. Alright, like most of the other ones are not constant loop motion. That one was questionable. Kind of pause there for a second. Twisted. This one is not constant loop motion. Catch, drift, definitely not. So he catches, he goes forward, and then he comes back. So that one would be a fail.
Yeah, a constant loop motion is a bit pain in the ass.
It is a pain in the ass. Here's another non-constant loop motion. Catch, drift forward, and then back. That's the type of thing we're trying to avoid right here. Even he only slightly does it, but see, he comes down and then he goes forward before he goes back. he's not doing a loop the whole time. He just flipped over and then he started to fly back. That's like how I'm trying to whether or not you're in the loop the whole time. All right. I think he has several fails similar to that. Oh no, that was the one that we had in there. That has the weird.
These need to be switched. That needs to be on this screen, and that needs to be on that screen.
You set it up.
No, I know. I'm just saying from now on, because I can't read anything over there. And then you always have everything covered up over here, so I have no idea what to respond to people. And you just ignore everybody.
I'm showing examples. I must have defocused his lens here in a crash. I think I didn't even look at that one because he already had it. But that's the idea. That you're going out of the loop, or you're going in a direction that's not the loop. What are you trying to get to?
That, so I can read what people are saying. Jesus.
Catch or no drip.
We will just say
Hun loop. What's that? It's like in between. Oh, Hungarian loop motion. Is that like perfect loop motion? Yes.
Hungarians are perfectionists. Sorry.
I got it.
Hun loop motion.
You could define perfect loop motion where like you actually have to come down in like because sometimes you can do a perfect loop motion where you kind of like do more of like a, I don't know, what would that be, like a half circle motion?
Yeah.
I would consider perfect loop motion where you're actually doing a circle. So if you watch all of Agilis's loops, like some of them are perfect, and then some of them he like goes a little further back and kind of goes forward. But he definitely never stops.
I like how Kira put it. No catch or drift.
It falls back.
Yeah, no catch or drift.
You can do like the snap, which some people consider a catch, as long as like you snap and you're still going. You just want to snap, catch yourself, or most of the time it's when people drift back is what really. They're
not even actually flying backwards. They're just.
Well, it's because they're not like super good like everyone here, and they're flying inside, just trying to hold on to it. So they're like, oh, I caught myself. Yes. Okay. Now I need to go through the gate again. So, all right. Great job by Spit, making it all the way to week number 39, outlasting 288 other players, or
287 other players.
To come in third place overall. As he was talking about the hungry. Oops.
And he had a baby during this. Like literally, like what week is it?
We've got hungry.
It's week 40, week 39. He like impregnated his wife when this competition started. Okay, and then bam, she had a baby at the end of it.
I got baby. So like he was talking
like
about,
a true IGOW baby right there.
The hungry crew, hungry, third place, 7th place, 24th place, and 31st.
Hey, Hungry came to play.
Hungry has more. Switzerland also solid. Switzerland.
At 6th and 8th?
6th and 8th. So, impressive showing by the...
Well, it'll be an American winner for season 2.
Oh, you're right. The first international game of Whoop winner from America ever in the history of IGOW. What was this week? 39. Third place. What colors should the top 3 get? Purple?
I mean, it's technically purple right now. That works.
It's like blue. needs to be more royal.
Like...
More royal than that.
Ooh, there we go.
Alright.
I like it.
Oh, it can be like the winter purple. There we go.
Right? He does need IGOW themed baby merch.
Alright. Great job by Spit.
That is a brilliant idea, Ishti.
That means that next week, if Daylight completes Spit's challenge, if Daylight completes Agilis' challenge, then Daylight will be the IGOW2 champion. And if Daylight is not able to do the challenge, then we will have a week 41. So,
I mean, if it goes to week 41, we're gonna have to figure that out. I don't know, like.
Should we figure it out? Okay, I don't feel like we should make them make up a new trick right now. Like, cause what are they both gonna make up a trick and then we just draw it? Should we draw it ahead of time and then whoever it is gets to make up the trick?
No me gusta. Necesito más.
Should we have a
personas? Should
we have a thing where we do like multiple like I was thinking like a whoop decathlon?
Hmm?
Like a whoop decathlon? Where we make like pentathlon, excuse me. Decathlon's 10, right?
Yeah, pentathlon was what you were thinking of.
5 events. And I don't know. We'll talk to Daylight and Agilis this week. Well, I guess we can kind of see. Maybe Daylight will try it early, and if he's just obviously going to be able to do it, I guess
She might be annoyed with us at this point. We took up like the last year of her husband's life.
I guess if it's Daylight, just try to do the trick early so we know if you're going to be able to do it or not. Then we can decide earlier. If you just get it, then we don't have to think about it. If she comes down towards the end of the week, then we'll have to think what's going to happen. I guess it either has to be something I make up or a random draw, I think. I don't know how else we could do it, right?
I mean, I don't know.
Ooh. Oh. Dude. Is there any way we could set up a live game?
That would be awesome.
Just a full game starting from scratch. And they both have to do it live. We just draw for who goes first. We have them both on live stream somehow. They have to have their extra.
See, I don't
know if Daylight has enough shit.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I was wondering how you could even do that because I wanted to be able to live stream me flying to get practice in before.
You can do that. I've done that. I've done that plenty of times.
Like flying real life. How do you live stream flying IRL?
I just stick my phone in the little screen.
Ah.
I've done it a couple times when I've tested stuff out. But I mean, if you had Orca goggles, you could do it because they have a thing that broadcasts.
Yeah, that plugs straight in. But I don't have Orca goggles. I have Bat Shark goggles.
Maybe Daylight has someone that lives near. I don't know if he has a second screen. We'd have to have some way to watch the DVRs live. Oh, that would be so cool if we could set that up. I feel like. Too bad they're not both going to Whoop Wars. We could do a live finals. What do you think about that? Oh, neither of them are here, huh?
That's funny. I get a lot of Spanish ads, but of course I actually understand what they say.
How good would that be if we could do that, though?
It's just, necesito hablar mucho más. Necesito práctica. Huh?
Maybe it could just be on a Saturday or something instead of being live. They have 20 minutes or something to do it and post the DVR. So they have a couple packs to try or something like that. And it just and we'll just we could sit here and kind of host it. We could just talk about other stuff and watch videos in between. We're and it'd be on the clock, Agilis attempting
But that would be interesting.
They could think of like all their tricks before, but they'd still have to be able to do them on the spot, like just like a real live Game of Force. I like that. I'm liking that. Unless they oppose.
I know. I was gonna say, Peter, you never flew outside. It's got to be really weird flying outside all of a sudden.
That would only be if Daylight fails the loop trick, though. Because obviously, if he passes the loop trick, he just wins.
Right. Yeah, I haven't flown outside in a long time either. I actually took my drones to school yesterday to show my students for Friday show and tell. They were so stoked.
You fly around in the room?
Yeah, I flew around in the classroom.
There's no like rules against that?
No, I just flew around in the classroom. I just flew line of sight so that way they could look through the goggles, and they were just like so stoked. They were like, "This is so cool! Can we fly the drone?"
Why didn't you just bring the extra screen?
I didn't think about it until I was already at school, and I was like, "Oh, we have 2 screens. I could have totally just had another screen, and then I would have been able to like do flips and rolls and all kinds of stuff. Then they would have been really excited. But I can't do all of that line of sight."
All right, well, down to 2 players out of 290. It could end this week. It could. I want to do the live finals. Unless they're both opposed to it, that sounds awesome.
I mean, that would be so cool.
Right?
I mean, and they're only, what part of Texas, I mean, I guess depending upon what part of Texas daylight it is in, they're only like 1 hour apart, or probably the same.
Isn't it 2?
1 to 2 hours apart.
Yeah.
Depending upon where in Texas. I don't know exactly. He's in San Antonio, and I don't know where the line falls in San Antonio.
It could be, it wouldn't have to be that long. I mean, how long? You basically have like, we give you like a 5-minute period to do the trick, and then you have like a certain amount of time to upload it. If somehow you can podcast it live, that's cool. If you have to like take your goggle thing out and then download it and upload it.
I mean, because the best way to do it live would to be do a Teams meeting or a Zoom meeting. Because it's way easier to bring Zoom footage in and have those 4 screens on than it is to try to bring in individual camera feeds.
That's true. It would be hard to set up on our end. Perspective Image can do it.
I mean, I have Teams. How do you think I taught all year at home?
Well, they do it some other way with the vMix thing. That works real well.
Yeah.
Anyway. I feel like Daylight thinks he's going to be able to do it, though. Daylight likes power loops.
Oh, and now you're going to have to learn outside. Yeah, you got everything really tight flying indoors.
Well, it will be an interesting week 40, and if Daylight is not able to increase his loop count by at least 6 from week 10, we were talking about that earlier. Week 10, remember, you got 30 seconds to do loops basically like Agilus did with the gate at the bottom, and then you had 30 seconds to do loops with the gate at the top, which is a little bit trickier. Mm-hmm. But Daylight was doing them pretty quick. And you have time to like stop and do another set of 30, so I think that's a little more optimized, obviously, than doing 60 seconds in a row. And he will have to pick up 6 more. So I think it's going to be tough. I don't think he's just going to be able to do it like real easy, but I think if he like tries for long enough, he'll get one going where, or maybe this, what was it called? Semantic satiation will creep into Daylight's brain, and he'll no longer be able to do a power loop after attempting so many power loops in a row.
I want to get a 2.5, 3 inch. I don't know if I'm ready to step up to a 5 inch, and I just think about how expensive a 5 inch is if I damage it or hurt it, and then I have to replace parts.
Jeez, Skill, you alright?
But I think a toothpick would be a lot of fun.
Skittles.
I just need to download DCL. I've been procrastinating on that and start practicing in there.
Download that one. How much does that cost?
$25, I think.
That's not too bad. All right. Thank you for joining us. We will. There won't be anything on
This upcoming weekend?
Thursday.
No, on Thursday, yeah.
The next one will be Saturday.
Yep.
And we'll do the recap, and we'll see if Daylight was able to do Spit. Why do I keep saying Spit?
If Daylight was able to do Agilus' trick, and then we will figure out what the...
And if it's not over, hopefully we can set up some type of final competition. Even if it's not a full 5, like...
I mean, but I feel like with this being it, Daylight is going to spend absolutely every free second of time that he has.
Well, just like Steve did last time.
Yeah, to just like destroy this. I mean, Steve went through, what did he say, 150 packs, and his wife was like, "Now get your ass back in there and finish it." Like,
well, we shall see. That, of course, is due by Friday, May 7th.
My dog's dying.
Dang, Skittles. That didn't sound good. Skittles having a cough attack. We need to get Skittles a vaccine. Vector. All right. Thank you for joining us. Have a good rest of your Saturday. Thanks for hanging out, Ishti, Carlos, Peter, Susan. That's everyone. We will see you next Saturday for possibly the last IGOW2 live stream.
Oh my God.
No, well, I would definitely do a top, like, 50 or 100 videos.
Yeah, but...
live stream or... Yeah, I'll probably make a video on that. Oh. Anyway, the last regular season possibly video. If not,
it'll be all after season stuff after that.
Yep.
Like the after the final rose.
And it's already in May.
After the final whoop.
It's already in May.
It is, which means that we've only got like 6-7 weeks off. That's what I'm saying. We've got to figure out a way to not make it so long next time. You did the 25 weeks, and then we still had an additional bloody 15 weeks of finals.
It's not my fault they're all so good. They could have knocked each other out.
We're not getting a long enough break in between seasons, man.
We needed more weeks like this, and less weeks like this. The one-letter weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Skittles. Jeez. Alright. Yeah, so like we were saying, IGOW2. I think like starting of July sounds good.
What, like week 1 is the beginning of July?
Like the first week of July.
So then entries
can
start being turned in June 1st? Is that what you're saying?
Well, like basically right when this ends, we'll have to start doing the next one. I'll have to talk to the sponsors. That's the worst part. I should do it like Weebly, just like cash only. just cash prizes, and then
or gift
certificates. You don't have to deal with mailing so much stuff out.
Right.
If they want to send like a drone or something, but like.
Yeah, I don't. It is a bitch doing all that international. The amount of money we spend on postage is unreal.
Stuff and big stuff.
Yeah.
So big end prizes and then flat things you can send in.
The biggest thing is you need flat rate international shipping that's not ungodly.
Codes and cash. Codes also help the business because you have to buy more to use it, and then cash is just cash. You can't argue with cash. What's that? Yeah, ideas for season 3.
Shoot them over.
Agilus said, which is a very valid point here. Since it was random, if Agilus challenge was chosen first, and Daylight's was chosen here, it could be reversed, right?
Yeah, and Daylight would have Woo, and Agilus would have Who.
No, Agilus couldn't have Who because he had it coming in. But,
because he had it coming in.
But he could have, like, if this was his week, Spit. We need you to do a challenge. If you have time, still attempt to do Agilus's trick. Because I want to see if it had been reversed, if it would have made a difference. Because if you can't do it, then it would have made a difference. It would have kind of switched it, and Daylight would have picked up a letter for his week because Agilus was able to do his challenge. So if that was this week and Agilus was able to do it, he could be giving Daylight a letter.
Because you're saying that it would just be Daylight versus Agilus.
It's basically whether or not Spit can do it. Because if Spit can do it, then there wouldn't have been any difference. But if Spit can't do it, then if Agilus went first, then Spit could have got his letter on Agilus's week. And then we could be going to a woo to woo right now, assuming Agilus still did the trick.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So he was just like, I don't like that, it's random. And I was like, well, that's just kind of how it was. I was like, what do you think would be better? And he didn't have an idea yet. He said, I'll think about it. So.
But no, I do feel him on that the fact that it's random every single round. It'd almost kind of be better if you just drew numbers at the very beginning, and then every round that you're in, you're just kind of there. So like, if you were in 5th and 4th place got knocked out, now you just get moved up to 4th.
So we would just reuse this set right there.
Yeah. And then basically, like, so if Callisto got knocked out, then Akira would just move up. If Average and Daylight, then they would just move up.
But then technically earlier going earlier is better, right? Because you have more people.
Yeah.
More chances to fail. So then if you get chosen first, you just get the free RNG the whole rest of the finals. At least this mixes up the RNG each round. It's whatever. It's random.
What is
so
RNG?
Like, that's what the speedrunners call the randomness, because it's like based on random number generation in the games.
Okay.
It's the randomness. And we used random number generation to create it, so it follows. Question my terminology because you're not hip enough.
Go back.
All right. Where am I going back to? This. Oh, we got Spit's idea.
That's true. When you do have that many weeks, the winner is truly the winner.
I mean, I tried to whittle it down. That's what all these super hard tricks were here. I made up these really hard tricks, and we sort of did whittle it down. But like, I don't really like making up the super hard tricks that everyone fails. That's not fun for anyone, I don't think. When I make up like a ridiculous trick that only a few people can do, I think it's more fun when the other players make up the trick, and if it's ridiculous.
It is, but we had 290 people this year, which meant that there was 16 people going in the finals. What if there's 500 people next year, 600 people? So now we're gonna have 70 people going into the finals, all making up tricks, going back and forth.
It'll still be. Even if we have 500 people, I bet you it'll just be like, instead of like 40 people whooping out in week 5, it'll be like 80. It'll just be like each of these things will be more. There's still only going to be, there's not going to be that many more people like this that actually like try the whole way and really are into it. There's still going to be tons of people.
Whatever, there's going to wind up probably being twice as many, and then there's going to be 30 people instead of 16.
Well,
and then they've all got to keep going back and forth. Like, it's crazy.
But no, the finals will still have to. 16 just worked out well. Maybe we'll do like, I was thinking like some type of final March Madness type bracket. We could do that maybe and just have a bunch of head-to-head. But that's even more like who you get matched up with.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, you'd obviously do like top versus, but how would you determine that? Like the power rankings or something? Then the person that got matched up with like Daylight or Agilus, whoever's like the top of next year.
So that's like going up against Kentucky in the NCAA Final Four. Like,
but that's because,
sorry, I don't know.
That's because there's like a season and you like win it. Like, how would you determine it? Because there's only like 5 levels. There's only technically 4 levels you can be in and still be in, right? W, WH, WHO, or WHOO. Hey, we'll think about that later. If you have ideas. Yeah, I mean, if we could have got it down to like 8 people before the finals, that would have been good. But what? Did I just make like 3 more tricks that only Daylight and like Spid and Akira can do, and until like just because basically what happened was I just started having to make tricks that were so hard only like this group of the top finalists could do them, and it was just how you had placed yourself before.
Yeah.
To when
I
you
mean,
moved
I
out.
do like the idea of there being like a pro league and like an everyman league. But then that's just like that much more work that puts on us. Because literally, like, we love your all, but literally, like,
and then how do
Danny
how do you
does
divide
like
people?
90% of the work.
Then you have the same problems you have at
95%
races where it's
of
just
the work.
at tiered races where it's just like randomly whoever happens to be like 17th place or whatever gets set up really good, and 16th place, me at the bottom of elites, gets screwed. Instead of winning the tier, you like get wiped out by like AK and all the fastest people. You're against OG Dr. Love and AK in your first heat. You're like, oh, this was a fun race. Yeah. I think it'll be better. IGOW2. I guess maybe this middle part just needs to be a little bit harder. I think we'll have 10 weeks that are pretty easy that you should be able to survive. Someone like you that's new but knows how to fly. At least be able to make it to 10 with a woo. So they get 6 out of those 10. And then from like 11 to 15 it'll get pretty hard. And then it'll start getting harder even earlier. And then hopefully you can have it narrowed down more. That's the only way to do it.
No, it is the only way to do it. It's just got to be something that, yeah.
I still want like the first 10 where they're like pretty easy. So
and the biggest,
I don't want it to
the
be like
biggest
you
thing,
join IGOW and then you
but
just,
no, the
like,
biggest
fail
thing is
every
that
week.
you need to set down ground rules, and you need to quit being so goddamn nice when people are whining to you about shit and things like that.
Matter. None of that
because
matters.
then things change, and then you're like, oh, but then I don't know if we should do this trick because then and all these things, and it just needs to be set in stone.
Those people just end up whooping out. It doesn't matter. Like anyone that was complaining or anything, it doesn't matter in the end because none of those people are making it to the end. If you're complaining about like, oh, you made the wrong turn or like whatever, you're not going to make it to the end because you're not paying enough attention. Or it doesn't matter. Like I give those people an extra letter because I know they're just going to like, they're not making it. Why argue with someone with like, oh no, whatever, and then they're just gonna whoop out like the next week when there's another hard trick. It doesn't like big deal, right? We're definitely gonna need to have less constant.
Thank you, Ishti.
Less constant loop motion. I'm gonna try to make the tricks where they're much more cut and dry. Like where you just did it or you didn't. It'll be harder, but it'll be less up to interpretation.
Right.
That's my goal, at least.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. You need to be more strict about the rules and just say, if this is what the rule is, that is what the rule is.
Well, there's not going to be any rules where there's being strict or not. It's going to be like you did the 5 loops or you didn't. There's no constant loop motion involved. I'm not going to try to make that at all, at least until the end, when we start going inside and doing harder stuff with the better pilots.
Because then I'm just like, then I feel like I'm just the one always coming across as the bad guy, and you're always picking on me in the street. Why are you always going to be so mean? Why you always want to give everybody letters? It's not about that I want to be mean or that I want to give people letters. It's that we said it's supposed to be done like this. That's the way it needs to be done. Nobody should be able to argue about, oh, but.
Yeah, but the whole fucking point is you can't do that. It's literally impossible to write a set of rules that will cover everything that a group of 500 people could possibly come up with. This has been proven.
True.
It's not that we don't set the rules good enough. It's that we set the rules and then someone's like, oh, I thought you meant that you could just fucking go through the UTT in any order that you wanted. And you're like, technically if you look at the rules, it doesn't say that you can't do that. Just everyone in the world knows what a UTT is and that you just follow it. But we did not say you had to go in order. Technically, what's his name did was totally legit, and I actually like that idea of just like having a certain number of gates and you get to figure out your own path. You just have to, it doesn't matter the order, you just have to go through each one.
That's true. I mean, no, that just reminds me of one of my students who will just like spend so much time trying to find a loophole. And I'm like, dude, if you would like literally had just like done your stuff, we would so be done with this right now.
See, you can't anticipate things like that. It's impossible. Someone's gonna be like, oh, well, it doesn't say that I can't do this, so I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it.
And then you're like, ah, shit, it doesn't say that you can't do that. How do we interpret that?
Right? It will never be fair, so it might as well be consistent then. And
yes,
I think
so there's no consistency when, like, so how do you judge something like that that's totally not addressed in the rules? When someone does something and you're like the mirror. We didn't say you couldn't have mirrors anywhere. He just got a pass because he did, and that was clever. He used the mirror. No one said you can't use the mirror, but what, we're gonna fucking write every possible thing? What if instead of a mirror you had a bunch of TV screens that showed like the thing? It's like it's not a mirror, it's just a TV screen showing what's behind it.
So you can happen to reflect on the TV
it's
screen.
It's impossible to set a set of rules. So that's the problem. You just gotta be reasonable.
We'll figure it
And then
out.
when someone beats you with the mirror, you just gotta accept defeat. You got beat. Next time if I have a backwards thing, I'll say you can't have a mirror. Alright. Thanks for joining us here on IGOW.
Now that our like 5-minute streams are turning into hour-long streams because Danny can never stop talking.
2 people. Will it be daylight? Will it be Agilus? Congratulations to Peter Dremel Spit for coming in 3rd place while having a baby and creating a baby at the same time. Of course, shout out to Mrs. Spit, who actually made the baby.
Right.
All right.
Have a great rest of your day, everyone. We'll see you next week. Whoops! I just moved the camera.
Kick the
Boop.
can. Oh, Callisto's here too. Hey, Josh.
Hey, Josh.
Right. We haven't seen in a minute is Clover. Where's Clover? Oh man, that was an hour.
That's what I